You're not lost. You're becoming someone new. There's a moment in life that feels confusion. Uh, you feel strange. You wake up one day and nothing feels right anymore. So the job that once felt safe now feels small, or the conversation feels repetitive, the environment feels tight. Even the version of you that everyone knows doesn't fit anymore, and you can feel it. And the first thing you think is, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just be grateful for who I am, for what I have? Why do I feel so lost? Because there's a lot of sensation, emotion that you can feel. But if you're not lost, what if you're becoming someone new? So change your mindset. Growth doesn't feel glamorous. It feels uncomfortable. And trust me, I feel under my skin this sensation. It feels lonely, disorienting, strange at the beginning because you're changing from an old identity before you never had into one totally different person. So what's the space between this version, the old version, and the new one? So there's a lot of things you have to change. It's like a butterfly, more or less. That's the image that I had in my mind. What's where most people panic because most of the people go back to comfort, back to routines, back to people who understand the old version of them. Think about it. Because becoming is scary, so it's a process. When you evolve, you start questioning everything: the job, relationships, the limit you accepted, the excuses you believed, and suddenly what used to feel normal feels unbearable. That's not confusion, that's awareness. You're changing, most of all, the awareness changes everything, change your life. For me, there was a moment when I realized I didn't want an average life. No, not because I thought I was better than anyone. No, but because I felt there was more inside me: more ambition, more freedom, more courage, more life. But the old version of me was still trying to fit into a system, a matrix, I call it, that didn't match who I was becoming. And that created tension inside me. Maybe you're feeling that tension right now. You scroll through your phone and feels restless. You go to work and feel drained. You look around and think, is this it? It's all here? And then guilt comes in. So you tell yourself you should be happy, you should be grateful, you should be satisfied. Also, because you watch your smartphone and you see, oh, beautiful life, but it's not the truth. Not the truth, especially for you. But growth doesn't ask for permission. It pulls you forward. So the problem is no one prepares you for the in between phase, the phase where you don't fully belong to your old life anymore, but you haven't built the new right one yet. You feel alone, misunderstood, almost dramatic for waiting more. But wanting more is not arrogance. No, it's love for yourself. It's expansion. You're not lost, you're shedding. You are outgrowing spaces that once felt safe. And that's painful, I know, because evolution requires detachment. Detachment from old beliefs, old standards, old expectations, old identities. And identity is powerful. When you start changing, people may say, you've changed, you're different, you use it to be more simple. And they're right, you are different. Because the old version of you tolerated things that the new version refuses. Becoming someone's new means raising your standards, raising your vision, raising your expectation for your own life. And that treatments people, they cannot accept this. But this is your life, not theirs. So the truth is, most people stay stuck not because they can change, but because they are afraid of the loneliness that growth brings. Becoming requires courage. Courage to disappoint, courage to be misunderstood, courage to walk alone for a while, a little while. But that lonely phases its process. That's where clarity is born. When I stopped trying to force myself to stay in the same everything shift. So that's the click, the magic. I stopped asking why I'm so lost, and I started asking who I'm becoming. That question changed everything because suddenly you move from confusion to construction. You start building, you start aligning, you start making decisions that reflect the future, your future, not the past you. And slowly, fog clears. Not because everything is perfect, no, but because you trust yourself. You trust that the discomfort is not destruction, it's a transformation. So if you feel restless, if you feel like you don't belong where you are anymore, if your ambition feel bigger than your current reality, maybe you're not lost. Maybe your identity is expanding. Maybe your standards are rising. Maybe you're becoming someone who refuses average. Thanks. And that requires change. And change feels lonely before it feels powerful. But one day you look back and realize you weren't confused. You were evolving. So instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Ask yourself, what kind of life is the new version of me trying to build? And maybe this uncomfortable phase is actually the beginning of everything.